Jamaicans urged to exercise caution during tropical storm. While Jamaica expected to be impacted by tropical storm conditions starting last night into today, acting head of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM Richard Thompson, is urging Jamaicans to be alert and listen to updates from the Met Service of Jamaica and the ODPEM. He indicated that Jamaicans should be cautious as the country has been experiencing rainfall for about a month now, and with the earth fully saturated, many low-lying areas could be susceptible to serious flooding. Thompson told reporters yesterday afternoon that sections of rural St. Andrew and St. Mary have already been affected by landslides which have impacted roadways. He said that a section of the road from Golden Spring to Mount Airy has been cut off owing to landslide. The ODPEM boss said the heavy rainfall that is anticipated for the weather system could lead to further land slippages in rural St. Andrew, St. Mary, and the hills of Clarendon. Thompson said shelter managers are on standby in the event that they should provide shelter for persons whose homes may be affected by floodwaters. Also, for persons who are in those low-lying areas, ensure that you know your evacuation routes and know where to find your shelters, he noted. The ODPEM Acting Director General said the Bogwalk Gorge in St. Catherine and the Hodder Crossing in eastern St. Thomas are areas that should be avoided during adverse weather conditions. People normally get trapped in those areas, so we urge them to stay away when we are affected by severe weather, Thompson stated. Motorists are being advised to stay off the road as tropical conditions move across the country. Thompson pointed out that 2 feet of floodwater can wash away a vehicle, adding that persons will look at the surface of the water and fail to appreciate the velocity and strength of the undercurrent. He warned that SUVs can also be washed away by flooded water. We are saying to people not to try to cross this flooded area, he stressed. He also cautioned residents who have mechanisms set up to cross gullies not to take any chances when rainfall is going on and moving through the gully. Exercise caution as the system passes us, and let us come out of this with no one being injured or any loss of life, Thompson added. Education Ministry says all schools will be closed for in-person classes today. All schools will be closed for in-person classes. This is due to expected adverse weather conditions. In a statement yesterday afternoon, the Education Ministry said the decision follows consultation with the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and the Met Service. It said the measure is being taken in the interest of the safety of students, teachers, and school staff. Schools are encouraged to implement online learning modalities where possible to ensure continuity in students' education. Meanwhile, the island public schools are reportedly ready as Tropical Storm Rafael is projected to pass near Jamaica. President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Dr. Mark Simmet, said school administrators and boards are following the advice of the Education Ministry. The ministry had advised that all schools take the necessary precautions to ensure safety. Dr. Simmet said many schools dismissed early yesterday to allow staff and students to get home ahead of the heavy rains. Dr. Simmet said schools are prepared to switch to online modality. He added that preparations are also being made at the schools that are designated shelters.
We continue to be guided by the bulletin sent out by the Ministry of Education and also the Meteorological Office. What we suspect is that many boards will take the decision to close school for tomorrow. For today, we had many schools going half day or a little over a half day, but in essence closing earlier and providing the opportunity for parents to get their kids and make the necessary preparations. But we continue to monitor very closely the weather situation, and it is really the task of the boards, based on the Ministry of Education's bulletin, to make the determination on when they close and reopen. And that's really based on the conditions on the ground. There are several schools that have reached out to me that have indicated that they have been making preparations for some degree of online engagement. It may be using Zoom, others will be posting things on the Google Classroom, and others are sending home additional work with the children to ensure that they are able to be kept occupied. If it is that the fallout from the storm results in schools being closed beyond National Day. The disaster preparation and management units are moving with great haste to put systems in place to facilitate those members of the communities from across the country that may be impacted due to the inclement weather.
National Emergency Operations Centers activated. The government has activated the National Emergency Operations Center in light of the impending weather system expected to impact Jamaica. The decision reportedly followed consultation with the Meteorological Service of Jamaica. The Office of the Prime Minister (OPM) said that the NEOC is ready to coordinate preparedness and response measures as the situation evolves. The National Emergency Operations Center will focus on mobilizing resources, ensuring effective communication, and maintaining readiness to provide support and to aiding communities that may be affected, the OPM said in a media release on Monday. In addressing the NEOC's activation, Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie commented, "Today, we are placing every possible resource at the disposal of our emergency response teams to ensure the safety and well-being of every Jamaican. The National Emergency Operations Center is fully mobilized and ready to respond to any developments. We urge all Jamaicans to remain vigilant, stay informed through official updates, and to take all necessary precautions to protect themselves and their loved ones," stated Minister of Local Government and Community Development. He was speaking at the NEOC's activation on Monday. The OPM said the government will continue to monitor the situation closely and provide timely updates as needed. All Jamaicans are encouraged to follow safety guidelines issued by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and local authorities and to avoid unnecessary travel in affected areas. Dalrymple Philibert's conscience led her back to Trelawney South. While she still has a court case to answer regarding charges recommended by the Integrity Commission, Marisa Dalrymple Philibert, who will contest the November 22nd by-election in Trelawney South on the Jamaica Labour Party's ticket, says she is acting on her conscience and her love for the people. Following a Jamin IC report which recommended that she be criminally charged, Dalrymple Philibert resigned as both Speaker of the House of Representatives and Member of Parliament (MP) for Trelawney South in September 2023, saying she was acting on her conscience, although she was urged by parliamentarian colleagues on both sides not to. "In the same way, it was my conscience that decided that I should resign. It is that conscience that I live with now," she stated. "A by-election is called. The people want me. My party has no difficulty with me representing them in the by-election, and my conscience tells me to go and do it," Dalrymple Philibert said in a recent radio interview. She said that her conscience is what she lives by. "I can only live by the voice that I hear, and that is why I am comfortable with my decision." Dalrymple Philibert will be nominated for the upcoming by-election, but it could be somewhat lonely affair as the People's National Party, who has selected Funeral Home Director Paul Patmore as their candidate for the constituency, will not be contesting the by-election, saying they prefer to wait on the general election, which is constitutionally due next year. While Dalrymple Philibert, who has been elected as the MP for Trelawney South in 4 consecutive general elections, 2007, 2011, 2016 and 2020, admits to having both of malice and quarrels with her Trelawney South constituents, she says that at the end of the day, they are one united family. "We quarrel all the while, we malice each other all the while. They say I am miserable, and yes, I am, but we have bonded as a family. The Labour Party has bonded with me as their leader," stated Dalrymple Philibert. "I am a committed member of the Jamaica Labour Party, and I support the leadership of my Prime Minister Andrew Holness." Regarding criticism that she should not be seeking to return to representational politics with the matter surrounding the IC report unresolved, Dalrymple Philibert said her resignation was primarily sparked by the IC's recommendation that she should be criminally charged. However, on account of attending court for a year on the matter and the element not coming up, she now sees the matter in a different way. "I resigned from the Parliament, from my constituency, from everything at the time when the Integrity Commission recommended that I be charged criminally. There are many persons on both sides of the aisles that thought I didn't have to do it. Some even thought my action was stupid. I know I didn't have to do it. My conscience told me at the time that that was the responsible thing that I had to do. Darren Philibert, who said she stayed away from Trelawney South after she resigned and only returned there on the eve of the recent local government election, said the response she got from the people was overwhelming and made her decision to return to them easy. 3 weeks before the local government election was called, I went to South Trelawney and the response to my leadership was overwhelming. I couldn't get it over, said Darren Philibert, who admitted that prior to that, she was being hounded and begged to come back. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.